So, Steve, one of the things I think about you when I think about your personal communication style, and one of the things that I think is so enjoyable about your teaching, is how creative you are. It comes across in your Twitter feed, it comes across while talking to you, it comes across while reading your blog. And I think that's wonderful because not only are you creative, you're hilarious as well. And I think that's great because it really makes people stop and take a second look. What do you feel about the state of creativity in communication today?
Well, in 2 words, Shonali, it sucks. And that's unfortunate because I shouldn't say it sucks. A lot of people are doing some really cool things, but not enough. My mission, and it's my mission in my seminars, with my consulting work, with my blog, with everything I do, is to get the word out there that corporate communications is dead. We need to take corporate out of corporate communications and replace it with creative. Excuse me. We need to we need to start being more creative because the corporate thing isn't working. And what do I mean by corporate? I mean that safe, sanitized corporate copy, very formulaic. We do the same stories over and over again. If you do press releases, you know the formula for a press release: name of company, comma, everything great about that company that nobody cares about, comma, bad verb. Like announce releases, or is pleased to announce, or pleased to release, and then a quote that no human being would ever say. And that's what every press release is. We, internal stories, we do meeting stories, we do initiative stories. They all sound exactly the same, and nobody's paying attention to it because the dirty little secret with corporate communications, either internal or external, is that our audiences aren't that excited about our stuff to begin with. They're not sitting around waiting for us to update the intranet page. They're not sitting around waiting for our next release. And they have, audiences today have minimal attention spans. There's huge competition for that attention span. Our stuff, if it's corporate and dry and boring, it doesn't matter. It doesn't get paid attention to. And the reason it happens is because communicators have a lot of bad habits. And 2 of the bad habits they have is fighting the wrong 2 battles. They fight the battle to make the deadline, because this is what I said earlier, they're everybody's private publisher, so they're constantly just churning, hamsters on a wheel, churning. And the second battle I fight is to create something that will make it through the approval process, something safe. And they win those battles. They make their deadlines, and they make it through the approval process, and they end up with something that's whitewashed, sterilized, sanitized, approval process friendly, and it's boring. And they push it out there, and they check the box and say, I'm done. I got my release out. I updated the intranet page. I wrote about the new product. I did whatever I did, and nobody reads it. My whole mission in life is to make people understand that every time you take on a communication challenge, whether it's write an article, a new campaign, a new PR campaign, new social media campaign, you're going to come to a fork in the road. Down the left side is that safe way, the way that nobody will. Nobody's going to raise an objection to. You've got the formulas in place to do it. You push out the normal corporate stuff. You do the release. You do this. You do that. Or down the right side of that fork is the creative way, and that's going to raise some hackles. Someone's going to say, "Wait a minute, we've never done it that way before." Wait a minute, we've never done it that way before. I can't tell you how many times in my seminars I'll be talking to somebody and they'll say, "Well, this is great stuff, Steve," because I show a lot of case studies and a lot of cool things. Well, so that's great, but my company doesn't do things that way. And I always say to them, "Well, is the way your company does do things working?" And they say, "No." No, nobody reads my employee publication. My intranet is a dead zone, whatever they're doing. And so I say down the right side is a little harder to do. It takes a little longer, but you've got to push it, and you've got to find that creative outlet. And the beautiful thing is that social media has come along at the right time, and it allows us to do this. It allows us to have maybe a blog or open a Facebook page or be more creative and more conversational and less corporate. I think the greatest thing about social media, besides it allows everybody to publish and allows people to listen to their audiences and engage with them at the point of contact and all that good stuff, is that it's almost forcing people to be more conversational in their corporate style communications. Because blogs are diaries. Facebook is people interacting with each other. Social media is people. So the whole corporate made-up quote, fake quote, jargon, buzzword, and we're going to, engineer our paradigm shifts as we leverage our core competencies in order to deal with my low-hanging fruit because we want to be a world-class company. That crap doesn't fly in a blog or social media space. So I think it's slow. You said earlier, what do I think about it? And the state of creativity, I said it sucks. I think it sucked for a long time, and it's slowly getting better. And that is what our seminar is really about, is because it's called strategic, creative communications. The strategic side is doing the research and the planning and the measurement so that you are tied to the organization's goals. And that keeps leaders happy. That raises your status in the organization. You are helping the organization succeed. You're a business partner. The creative side is how you reach your audiences. You can be as strategic as you want. If you're not creative, you're just churning out boring, corporate stuff. Then again, you can be as creative as you want and have fun and do blogs and wikis and podcasts and YouTube videos and all these great new tools. But if they're not helping the organization succeed in some way, what does it matter? So the idea of doing strategic, creative communications benefits the organization, but it's done for your audience in order to help them, engage with what you're doing.